Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're putting two DJI drones head-to-head.
That's right. We've got the new DJI Neo and the very popular DJI Mini 4 Pro.
Exactly. We've dug through the details from places like Maison du Drone,
Yeah.
drdrone.ca, even some Israeli sources like AKAV and Selfie.
Yeah, a good mix of reviews and specs.
And our mission, as always, is to give you the clear differences, help you understand these two without getting totally overwhelmed, whether you're thinking of buying or just curious.
Okay, let's jump in. The first thing you notice is they're built on, well, different ideas, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. The Neo feels like it's all about simplicity, maybe for someone just starting out.
Right, beginner friendly. It's got that permanent propeller guard frame.
Yeah, which seems great for flying indoors or maybe like in woods, tight spaces.
Definitely safer in those spots. And it's super light. What is it, 135 grams?
Yeah, incredibly light, easy to just toss in a bag. The Mini 4 Pro, though, that's the classic Mini design.
Foldable arms, sleek look. It's heavier, but still under that 249-gram mark.
Right, which is key. But when folded, it's tiny.
Mhm.
Really optimized for travel, I think.
It is. Packability is its strength there. But here's an interesting quirk: storage.
Oh, yeah, the Neo has a decent amount built in, right?
A surprisingly big 22 gigabytes. You might not even need an SD card for short flights.
That's actually pretty convenient, the Mini 4 Pro.
Only 2 gigs internally, so yeah, you're definitely going to need a micro SD card for pretty much anything serious.
Good to know. Now, that weight under 250 grams for both, that puts them in the C0 category in Europe.
Which simplifies things quite a bit over there. You can fly in more places, though still not over big crowds or, central urban areas.
So, design-wise, Neo is light, protected, has that handy internal memory.
And the Mini 4 Pro is all about folding down small, the travel companion.
Okay, let's talk power. How long can these things actually stay up, battery life?
Always a big one. The Neo has a smaller battery, 1,435 milliamp hours.
Which gives it, what, 18 minutes on paper?
Theoretically, yeah, maybe 17 with the guards. But testing seems to show more like 13, maybe 14 minutes in real use.
Okay, so fine for quick shots, selfies, that kind of thing. Not long explorations.
Exactly. If you want longer FPV sessions with the Neo, you'll definitely want extra batteries.
And the Mini 4 Pro.
Much bigger battery, 2,590 milliamp hours. That gives it a theoretical 34 minutes.
And realistically,
Probably closer to 25, maybe 30 minutes, depending on how you fly, the wind, all that.
still, that's a huge jump from the Neo.
Oh, absolutely. A significant advantage. Plus, there's that optional Intelligent Flight Battery Plus for the Mini 4 Pro.
Right. Gets it up to, what was it, 45 minutes?
Yeah, an impressive 45 minutes. So if flight time is your main concern, it's kind of no contest.
Clearly. Okay, so how do you actually, fly them? What are the control options?
The Neo is surprisingly flexible here. It can do autonomous flights, like it'll take off, get a shot, and land without you really piloting.
Just using the app or a button on the drone?
Yep. Or you can use your smartphone with the DJI Fly app over Wi-Fi, but the range is pretty limited, like 50 meters.
Okay. But it works with standard controllers, too.
It does. That's the interesting part. It's compatible with the RCN2, the N3, even the RC2 with the screen.
So that unlocks the full app features and gives you much better range.
Exactly. Up to 10 kilometer FCC or 6 kilometers CE range using those. That's a big deal.
Definitely adds versatility.
Yeah.
What about the Mini 4 Pro? More standard setup.
Pretty much. Classic piloting with either the RCN2 where you slot in your phone or the RC2 with the built-in screen.
And the range on that one.
Even better. Impressive, actually. 20 kilometer FCC, 10 kilometer CE. You're unlikely to run out of signal range with that.
Wow, okay. So Mini 4 Pro wins on pure range, but the Neo has those neat autonomous tricks.
And the smartphone control for quick, simple stuff.
What about the FPV side? That first-person view experience?
Both can do it. The Neo pairs with the DJI Goggles 3 or N3, and you can use the RC Motion 3 controller.
Oh, the one-handed motion thing.
Yeah, very intuitive. And if you get the DJI 3 FPV remote, you can unlock manual mode on the Neo for top speeds. Real FPV flying.
Okay. And the Mini 4 Pro?
Compatible with Goggles 2, Integra, and the Goggles 3 as well. High quality view. It also works with the RC Motion 3.
But no full manual mode like the Neo with the FPV remote.
Doesn't seem like it supports that specific remote, no. So the Neo might have a slight edge if you want that really raw, Acro-style FPV.
Interesting. And the video feedback to the goggles or controller, is that the same tech?
It is. Both use DJI's O4 transmission. Very stable, high performance. You get a nice, smooth 1080p feed at 60 frames per second.
Good. So the connection should be solid on both.
Yeah.
All right, let's shift to actual flight performance. Speed, Handling wind.
Yeah, how they feel in the air. The Mini 4 Pro is definitely the faster drone overall in the standard modes.
How fast are we talking?
It hits 16 meters per second in sport mode, both horizontally and climbing or descending.
Okay, and the Neo.
It can also hit 16 meters, but only in that FPV manual mode. In its normal modes, it's slower, 6 meters normal, 8 meters sport.
And climbing speed.
Mini 4 Pro does 5 meters in normal sport, while the Neo maxes out at 3 meters in sport. So the Mini 4 Pro feels more, punchy.
Makes sense. What if it gets breezy? How do they handle wind?
The Mini 4 Pro has better wind resistance. Rated for level 5 winds, that's about 10.7 meters per second.
And the Neo.
Rated for level 4, so up to 8 meters. It'll handle a decent breeze, but the Mini 4 Pro should feel more locked in when the wind picks up.
That's often down to the gimbal too, right, for stability.
Absolutely. The Mini 4 Pro has that proper 3-axis mechanical gimbal. Smooths everything out really well.
Tilt, roll, and pan.
Exactly. The Neo has a single-axis mechanical gimbal just for tilt, and then relies on digital stabilization, rock-steady, horizon balancing for the rest.
So good, but maybe not as smooth, especially in tougher conditions.
Probably, yeah. The Mini 4 Pro system is just inherently more robust for stabilization. Although some sources mention the Neo's algorithms might provide an edge in specific FPV scenarios with horizon balancing.
Okay, so performance-wise, Mini 4 Pro takes the lead on speed and wind handling. Now, the big one for a lot of people, the camera. Image and video quality.
Yeah, and this is where the Mini 4 Pro really pulls ahead, I think. It's got a larger sensor.
11.3-inch CMOS versus the Neo's 12-inch.
Right, and that larger sensor size just means better light gathering, better dynamic range, sharper details, more natural colors. It makes a real difference, especially in lower light or high contrast scenes.
And resolution, photo and video.
Mini 4 Pro can shoot 48 megapixel photos using quad Bayer tech or standard 12MP. The Neo is just 12MP. For video, the Neo does a respectable 4K up to 30 frames per second, or 1080p up to 60.
Which is pretty standard these days, but the Mini 4 Pro.
It goes way beyond 4K up to 100 frames per second, and full HD 1080p up to 200 fps.
Wow, okay, that's serious slow motion capability.
Huge difference if you want that smooth, cinematic slow-mo.
What about color profiles for people who like to edit their footage?
Another win for the Mini 4 Pro, it offers 10-bit D-Log-M.
Which gives you much more flexibility in color grading later.
Exactly. Lots more color information captured. It also has HLG for HDR workflows. The Neo just has a standard 8-bit color profile. Less room to push things around in post.
And we touched on stabilization, the Mini 4 Pro's 3-axis gimbal versus the Neo's 1-axis plus digital.
Yeah, the Mini 4 Pro's mechanical system is just generally superior for smooth, stable footage, especially when moving or in wind.
Okay. Any other key camera features? What about vertical video for social media?
Good point. The Mini 4 Pro has that clever rotating camera. It can physically turn the camera 90 degrees.
So you get true native vertical video without cropping.
Yep, full 4K vertical video, perfect for TikTok, Reels, whatever. The Neo can only crop the horizontal image to get a vertical view, and that's limited to 1080p, so you lose quality.
That's a big advantage for content creators. Does the Mini 4 Pro have zoom?
It has digital zoom, up to 3x in 4K video and 12mm photos, and 4x in full HD. The sources suggest the Neo doesn't really have a usable digital zoom.
Okay, so camera-wise, it feels like the Mini 4 Pro is in a different league, really. Superior sensor, resolution, frame rates, color, stabilization, vertical video.
Pretty much across the board, yeah. The Neo's camera is fine, good even for the price point, but the Mini 4 Pro is significantly more capable.
Right. Let's broaden out to other features, flight modes, intelligence, that sort of thing. Photo modes first.
Mini 4 Pro has the usual single shot, interval, but also burst shooting, various panorama mode, sphere, 180 wide, and AEB for HDR shots.
And the Neo.
Seems more basic, just single shot and interval modes mentioned.
Okay, video modes. Both have quick shots, right? Those automated moves.
Yeah, droney, rocket, circle, helix, boomerang, the standard DJI set. But the Mini 4 Pro also adds master shots.
Which are more complex, right? Like mini automated movies.
Exactly, and it has time-lapse and hyperlapse modes too, which the Neo lacks.
So more creative options on the Mini 4 Pro again. What about subject tracking? Following a person or car?
The Neo has a simple subject tracking mode, described as pretty effective for basic following.
But the Mini 4 Pro...
It has the much more advanced Active Track 360 degrees. It can track subjects from all angles, much more reliably. Plus, it has waypoint flight for pre-planning routes and cruise control for maintaining a steady speed.
Active Track 360 sounds like a big step up for reliable tracking shots.
Definitely more sophisticated.
And crucially, safety. obstacle avoidance systems.
Huge difference here. The Mini 4 Pro has omnidirectional sensing. Sensors on the front, back, sides, top and bottom, plus infrared underneath.
Wow, okay. Sees everything.
Pretty much. And it uses APS Advanced Pilot Assistance Systems to automatically brake or fly around obstacles, even during return to home.
That provides a lot of peace of mind, especially for newer pilots. What about the Neo?
It mainly has downward-facing sensors for positioning, helping it hold steady near the ground, but no forward, backward, or sideways obstacle avoidance mentioned. That's listed as a con in some reviews.
So it relies more on the pilot
Yeah.
and those built-in prop guards for physical bumps.
Exactly. The guards offer protection, but the Mini 4 Pro offers active avoidance. It's a significant safety upgrade.
Yeah, that feels like a really key differentiator. Okay, let's talk money. Price and value. How do they stack up?
The Neo is definitely the budget option. We saw prices like $199 just for the drone, or $349 for a Fly More combo with a basic controller, and around $529 for an FPV bundle.
And in other currencies.
Sellafy in Israel had a combo around $1,649, so quite accessible.
And the Mini 4 Pro.
Significantly more expensive. Starting around $799 with the basic RC-N2 controller, up to $999 with the RC2 screen controller, and over €1,100 for the Fly More combo with the RC2.
Yeah, Canadian dollars were over $1,000 starting, US dollars around $759 starting. And Israeli prices were like $4,400 to $4,900.
So yeah, you're looking at potentially 3 or 4 times the price, depending on the package.
Big difference. How do the sources frame the value? Is the Mini 4 Pro worth the extra cost?
DrDrone.ca positions the Neo as great value for beginners or casual flyers, maybe dipping a toe into FPV. They see the Mini 4 Pro aimed squarely at people who need that higher image quality and the advanced features, photographers, videographers.
Makes sense. What about Philip Bloom's take?
He acknowledged DJI has even higher-end drones, but still felt the Mini 4 Pro was kind of the best all-around sub-250-gram drone out there. High praise.
Interesting. And someone mentioned maybe owning both?
Yeah, DrDrone.ca brought that up. Because they excel at different things and sometimes share controllers, you could potentially see someone owning the Neo for casual FPV fun and the Mini 4 Pro for serious imaging.
That is an interesting idea. Okay, so wrapping this all up, if you had to summarize the core strengths and who each drone is for.
Well, the DJI Neo really stands out for its affordability, its built-in protection, that handy internal storage, and its unique versatility, autonomous basic control, plus a solid FPV entry point. It feels perfect for beginners, people on a tighter budget, or someone specifically wanting to try FPV without breaking the bank.
Got it. And the Mini 4 Pro.
It's all about the premium experience. Superior camera performance across the board, much more advanced features like omnidirectional obstacle sensing and sophisticated tracking, longer flight times, better wind resistance. It's for the user who prioritizes image quality and needs those pro-level features and is willing to invest more for them. Content creators, serious hobbyists.
So it really comes down to your priorities, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Budget versus features, image quality needs, how and where you plan to fly.
Exactly. There's no single better drone, just the better drone for you.
Great way to put it. Thanks for walking us through all that. Now, just a final thought for everyone listening. Drone tech moves so fast. What do you think might be next? Could we see future mini drones that somehow merge the Neo's simplicity and price point with some of the Mini 4 Pro's high-end features? What compromises might disappear down the line?
Yeah, that's fascinating to think about. Maybe better sensors and cheaper models, or more basic obstacle avoidance becoming standard even on entry-level drones. The lines could definitely blur.
Something to keep an eye on. And if you're trying to decide between these two, definitely go look at actual video footage from both. Read user reviews. Think hard about how you would use it.
Yeah, that hands-on perspective, even virtually, can really help clarify things.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again for joining us on this deep dive.
My pleasure.
I'll catch you on the next one.